Welcome to this detailed demonstration of the first segment of the Notification of Intent to Submit a Milestone, released as part of the HDR Thesis and Examinations project. This video steps through a candidate submitting their Notification of Intent to submit their thesis, their primary supervisor reviewing the notification, and indicating their support of the submission. First, we'll look at the Notification of Intent to Submit from the perspective of a candidate. The first few pages of the e-form are common across all the milestone types. The introduction page shows details on the current milestone. The student details page shows your contact and citizenship details, as well as information on applying for an ORC ID. The candidature details page shows program and scholarship details, information on submission dates, as well as the individuals within the supervisory panel. It is important at this point to confirm whether the primary supervisor and chair of panel are correct before proceeding. The milestone details page shows current milestones, their due dates, completion status, and grade where applicable. The thesis format page is the first new page of this e-form. It shows the current thesis format and provides the ability to request a change to a new format. By selecting a new thesis format from the drop-down list, additional information will be displayed and justification for the reason requested. If Thesis by Creative Works or alternative thesis format is selected, a percentage contribution for each component should be provided. Please note that this is an indication only and is not the weighting under which the thesis will be examined. If Thesis by Compilation is selected, additional details must be provided on your papers and publications. In this section, the publication status can be entered as well as an anticipated or final publication date, the name of the journal or book in which it is published, the title of the paper or publication, and the anticipated or final word count. It is important to indicate sole or co-authorship of the paper or publication. Where co-authorship is selected, additional information should be provided regarding your contribution and co-authors. Additional papers or publications can be added by clicking the plus button. You can remove papers or publications by clicking the checkbox and the minus button. The Thesis Details page is where intended submission date, thesis title, table of contents, and abstract can be updated, if required. Please select an intended submission date using the date selector. Please note that this date cannot exceed your maximum submission date or be prior to your minimum submission date. These dates are displayed on the Candidate Details page. To update your thesis title, select the checkbox and provide a new thesis title in the text field. To upload a table of contents, click the Upload New button, select a file, and then select the Start Upload button. Only Word documents can be uploaded here. On this page, a thesis abstract of 100 to 500 words must be entered. Please note that this cannot contain any subscript or superscript characters and must be plain text, meaning that weighted fonts such as bold, italicized, or underlined text cannot be used. Further information about allowed characters is available on the information bubble here. On the Examiner Recommendation page, you are given the opportunity to suggest who is and who is not appropriate to examine your thesis. You may suggest a maximum of 5 possible examiners for your thesis. You may also recommend 2 persons who you prefer not to examine your thesis. These suggestions, as well as any other comments, may be provided in the text areas. If your thesis contains confidential or third-party copyrighted material, the Thesis Access Restrictions page is where full confidentiality or delayed public access can be applied for. First, indicate whether the thesis contains any confidential material or restricted information, and indicate whether examiners will need to sign a non-disclosure agreement. If a non-disclosure agreement is required, then an application for full confidentiality will be processed. If there is no requirement for a non-disclosure agreement, then the application will request delayed public access of the thesis material. Where no restrictions are required, the thesis will be classified as open access. Select the parts of the thesis containing restricted material by clicking the checkboxes and indicating the main reason for the restriction from the drop-down list. Individual chapters or appendices can be identified as containing restricted material if only small sections of the thesis contains restricted content. Additional chapters or appendices can be added by clicking the plus button. Enter the number of months you would like for the restriction period. If a period of less than 12 months is selected, then the request for delayed public access will be automatically awarded. All other applications require approval by the university. A supporting statement should be included in the text area, with an option to upload supporting documentation by clicking the Upload New button. The Submit page shows a summary of the details entered and provides several important declarations which must be read and agreed to prior to submission of the milestone. Clicking these declaration checkboxes is equivalent to signing a paper form. Upon submission, the milestone will be sent to your primary supervisor for endorsement. The next section of this video focuses on the review and endorsement state from the point of view of the candidate's primary supervisor. The first few pages seen in the primary supervisor state are almost identical to that shown to the candidate. The introduction page gives an overview of the milestone and the notification of intent to submit process. The student details page shows the candidate's contact details and citizenship. The candidature details page provides information relating to the candidate's program, scholarships, minimum and maximum submission dates, supervisory panel, and unofficial transcript comments. The milestone details page shows their current milestones and details on their due dates and status. If the candidate has applied for thesis by compilation, details of their publications and papers are available for review. Where required, endorsement of a thesis change and any relevant comments will be sought from the primary supervisor on this page. If the candidate has applied for thesis access restrictions, these details are provided on the Thesis Access Restrictions page. Details include the type of restriction, the length of time requested, which sections of the thesis need to be restricted, as well as supporting information provided by the candidate. At this point, it is important that the primary supervisor discusses the thesis access restrictions with the chair of panel before either endorsing the request or otherwise, on behalf of both parties. Reasoning surrounding the decision can be provided in the text box. The Review and Approval page gives a summary of the candidate's notification of intent to submit. This includes their intended submission date, working thesis title, and working thesis abstract. Finally, overall endorsement of the thesis submission will be sought. Upon endorsement, the e-form will continue on to the Nomination of Examiners section. If the intended thesis submission is not supported, the milestone will be delivered to the delegated authority, who will discuss the submission further with the candidate. Thank you for your interest in the thesis and examination improvements to the HDR student e-forms. Further support videos detailing the rest of this milestone are available on the Thesis and Examinations Project website. If you have any suggestions for further functionality, improvements, or would like to provide feedback regarding e-forms or the support video, please visit the Service Improvement Group webpage, where you can access the University Services Feedback Framework to submit a short feedback e-form.